lanes. So I'm looking for, the first 15 minutes to try and be a little bit of a savior here for Ant.
Well, we'll see how it all shakes out as the two teams are already moving out across the map to try and make sure that they have some vision dominance going for themselves. The Warden will scout out Isla on this Beastmaster, so they have an awareness of what these lanes should look like for the most part. I doubt we'll have any major surprises for either of these squads. No one's going to show up and be like, oh, wow, I didn't expect to see this hero here. Should be all pretty standard. Speaking of standard, actually, we've been talking about Mark here in the mid lane for the side of CDUB, and he has been, I think we both agree, they're a standout player for the most part. What kind of build are we expecting here? Just going bots into the Spirit Vessel for this Keeper of the Light?
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do it, right? Because you want to try and dissuade the Leshrac as much as you can with the Bloodstone build, and enables them to play fast. And I think that's the big thing for CDUB on Mark. Oh, we cursed him, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, we did. That's on us. That's on us. We cursed him. He ends up going down for the first blood, gets his life taken away by Ash. Actually, we double cursed him, because you cursed him first by talking him up, and then I cursed him by saying how bad Mars is, and of course Mars is going to be the hero that gets the first blood. Damn it.
Yeah, sometimes it hits with a double whammy, but it was an interesting decision to walk down to the low ground there. They didn't have the vision of all of the heroes, but he still should have at least known that if he gets anywhere close to those heroes, he was going to die. But good little start here from Ant to be able to get that first blood for them. You can see that the Warden understands that this lady is going to be absolute cheeks, and he wants to just try and get these pulls off as much as he possibly can, because otherwise, Ash, yeah, albeit you did start off with a nice little first blood, but if Duster is able to play this Undying the way that we've usually seen it, it is just going to be pure domination against these two strength heroes. And last time Double King played this Wraith King, he had a very, very good start. Played extremely fast with like an Armlet Deso build. And looks like he's going to have a relatively free time again.
Yep. So now it's just going to be a major farm fest here. The TB also should be a hero that I don't anticipate him being too threatened in the earlier portions of the game. Once you get like level 3, maybe things start to get scary if you've tanked like 3 or 4 wild axes in a row, but prior to that, I think he should be A-okay. I'm still interested to see exactly how he's going to go fully in the itemization for this game. Probably anticipating a Radiance from this Wraith King, so we'll see if he still decides to go for the Heads Up Manta. I have seen lately that some of these Terror Blades, when they're playing into Radiance carries, are opting to go for Sanj and Yasha rather than just straight out Manta, but we'll see. Still a lot of time to go in this game. For the top lane, the Warden almost lost to his life to Duster and Double King. Shouldn't happen, but as life goes on, in retrospect, Fluke, it's probably a good thing that Ash got that first blood, because I don't think he's going to get much out of this lane at all.
Yeah, he's going to have to just try and secure creeps with what he can, with spears and rebukes. I think the Warden's doing a good job at just cutting a lot of these waves. I can't remember which game it was. It was, I believe it was... I'll have to see the game, but there was another game in Dream League where we were seeing that Undying was played against 2 strength cores, and the way that the POS 5 was playing the lane was doing a lot of this weird side pull stuff, but literally made it so that the POS 4 and the POS 3 did not get like almost any of the creeps, and I think that was a bit of a masterclass about how it's being played, and Duster's doing a good job right now at being able to make it extremely hard for the Warden to at least get a little bit of this experience. They are getting some last hits in this top lane, and I think the biggest thing for them is as long as they don't die too much to Double King, then you should be okay with it. And maybe if your safe lane goes a little better than what it currently is, then you might be feeling okay with how your lane's going.
Speaking of safe lane situations, we did see the Silencer giving up his life, the down bottom, taken away by Sanctified and Isla. Looks like they just caught him a little bit in between the lanes, not anticipating the aggression that can come out. This newfangled Disruptor, man. Glimpse over and above having Kinetic Field or Thunderstrike. Even though it actually has gone for a point in Thunderstrike, this is somewhat atypical these days, because I've seen a lot of Disruptors go like 0-3-3, only getting Thunderstrike at like level 8 or something. So, very atypical stuff being done by Sanctified here, but still backing himself, has 2 points into Glimpse right now, so if Silencer's ever caught out again, Feeling G should end up losing his life as well.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the issues with Silencer. I was, looking back at some of the SCA DPC, they were talking about the fact that they feel like Silencer is one of these big lane dominator heroes, and to be able to abuse a lot of these offlaners and just give your carry a very good first 7 minutes, but you're not able to do that, then this can happen again. But they get the kill on the top lane. How did that happen?
So they cornered this Undying as he was in between the river. The Warden came back with a pretty big creep wave. He had no defense for himself, so he dropped a tombstone. Unfortunately, Double King wasn't able to close the gap in time, so couldn't throw in this young Wraithfire Blast. And down bottom, we do end up seeing exactly what we were afraid of. Silencer ending up going down yet again. They did commit the glimpse for this one, so they can't drag back Argier, so he shouldn't die here. As Isla will just be very happy to continue throwing in Wild Axes. Gone for the 2-on-1. And they brought in reinforcements though. The Warden also making his presence known here. They're gonna go in for this kill, but they kill the Terrorblade. Wild Axes, amazing spell, and this might lead into a double kill for the Beastmaster. Axes in one, double in one, and that's gonna be this Beastmaster not only getting a massive kill, but looking at the rotation, rebuffing it completely. And that was, oh my god, Silencer cancelled. Oh, did he get glimpse back? He didn't get glimpse back. He just cancelled the CP down bottom. Oh no.
Canceled.
Oh no. This is not how it was supposed to go, Fluke. Everything is starting to fall apart right now for Ants in the safe lane.
Oh, the worst part is Argius pressed meta as well, so he doesn't have meta for 2 minutes, man. Oh, you're gonna feel so depressed if you're Ant. That's a heartbreaker. That's an absolute heartbreaker. They thought they could come in and try and get the kill there onto Isla, but you know, Wild Axes, man. The thing is for Argius is he wasn't able to reaggress because he still had the debuff from the Wild Axes. So he goes down. They do get the kill onto Dust at top, who was trying to dive Ush underneath his T1 tower, but I mean, the way this offlane is going, like the Beastmaster is having such a free lane, and if he gets to a point where he just has this super early HOD into like a Helm of the Dominator, like I don't see a good way for them to kill these creeps, and it's going to really be on the supports to try and not feed to these creeps in these team fights, because I've seen so many times where you're playing a Silencer and you play into these summon heroes and you just die in a team fight.
Well, I want to ask our observers if they can do us a favor and quickly switch over to the CS score, because I want you to see the disparity between the Smars and the Wraith King that he's playing up against in lane. He's being more than tripled up right now in terms of CS, finding absolutely nothing from that side of the map. They even rotated in the Leshrac to go top, hoping to try and find a quick kill onto either the Wraith King or maybe even Duster's Undying, but they found neither. And instead, Leshrac wasted quite a bit of time, giving some opportunity for Mark to catch up in his own CS. And down bottom, Isla gets another kill, dominating spree for the Beastmaster, able to bring down Feeding G. I mean, okay, so we were talking in the draft about how good this Beastmaster can be when provided with vision. Normally, when you get these kind of kills as Disruptor, you have an Observer Ward pretty much right by where this Sentry was de-warded from. So Ant had a good idea of where the ward might be, but unfortunately, the Beastmaster Hawk can penetrate a little bit deeper into your side of the map, enabling such clutch glimpses and making these kills so much easier to attain, and opening up space for the tier 1 tower now.
Yeah, and this is what I said I was afraid of, right? He has like a 6-minute HOD, man, and then he gets another kill on top of that. Like, oh, Isla is having an absolute banger of a game to start out here. The fact that he's 4-0-1, he has 46 CS, and you look across at Ush, and he's just a little boy who's just got 17 CS. He's level 5, and Double King's still sprinting at him. Like,
about to get another kill, Fluke, because he's looking at the Warden, and the Warden will end up losing his life. Got glimpsed back into a Roar, into a Beastmaster army. Of course, he has himself access to this Dark Troll Summoner, so we had the Skellies being summoned. Dude, how is he 5-0-1 8 minutes into the game on a Beastmaster? What the hell is happening right now?
Yeah, it's a very, very good lane. Mark is able to get the kill onto Feeling G, and unfortunately for him, hopefully he doesn't wake up his buddy in the background either with some of the yells of the way that this early game is going. To be fair though, Snare, if I want to give a little bit of hopium to the Ant fans out here. CDUB had a very, very similar start up against the Cut in game number 1, and the Cut were able to come back and win that game. So CDUB are not kind of away just yet. They still have a little bit of time to go, but maybe this might be a big kill for them.
We'll see if they can find this kill onto the Leshrac, who's fallen so low right now. It's only the Beastmaster and some supports here. Static Storm gets dropped down by Sanctified, and they do manage to find the kill onto the Leshrac. Isla healed up by the Illuminate Blast as well, so he's going to be staying alive a little bit longer. And he does not go down. Feeding G, unfortunately, because of how rough his early game has been, can't necessarily prefer that much damage in the opposite direction. Duster will die to the last word proc, so that's always nice, a little bit of perma-int, but oh boy, this is everything that was not supposed to happen is pretty much happening right now here, Fluke. This is not the game that they designed for themselves.
Yeah, +1, -2. That feels good if you're a Silencer player, but unfortunately, it's still a whole lot of pressure that they have to try and soak up. The net worth is not starting to get too far away from them, though, which is a big plus. They actually are able to give Ush a little bit of time in this top lane to find his level 6. He doesn't have the craziest amount of net worth, but he still is able to get a little bit of experience, and maybe they're able to make some rotations with the Arena of Blood. But if they keep throwing faces towards either in this bottom lane, he's just going to keep snowballing. Like, he's getting... Look how much gold he's got. He's going to have the Vlads coming out in a few hundred gold, and then as soon as that comes up, Helm of the Overlord is on the way. And then you're going to be looking down the barrel of like a pre-15-minute Helm of the Overlord, and how are you supposed to stop your towers going down then? Because if Mark keeps making these rotations with the bits of travel, it's really going to be on Ush to make sure he's in the right place at the right time to get some of these kills with the Arena of Blood.
Yeah. They're going to try and make something happen right now, though. Connecting right behind Ush as he is going in. Arena at the ready. Looking to try and find an engagement inside their own jungle. Not going to be able to find a target just yet. It's going to be difficult because the smoke pops, the vision is immediately given away. And indeed, that is the case. They glimpse back Ush. There was a snowball out from Tusk, and the Warden might actually end up losing his life here. The Beastmaster army is right on top of him, and Mark has just made a rotation. The Arena of Blood bounces them back. But that means, Fluke, that you wasted Arena just to save a Tusk. So you don't have this as an aggressive tool anymore. And they have glimpse back in 1 second. They don't even need it just yet, but they use it anyway onto the Mars, ensuring that they get the kill onto the opposing offlaner. The chase still keeps going onto the Tusk. 10 seconds again before they have the glimpse. Not sure that they'll be lucky enough to be able to make it happen, but Duster has a fair amount of strength. You could actually tank this tier 1 tower, if I'm completely honest. They're just going to go for the heads-up kill. Kinetic Field holds him in position. He gets bounced out by the blinding light, but the glimpse ends up getting the kill regardless as it comes back off cooldown. And Sanctified, enabling his team not just to get 2 kills, but to save the life of the Beastmaster as well, so that this Isla Beast gets to keep the good times rolling with this train. Already has a Vlad here, Fluke. Only needs the recipe to finish off the full Helm of the Overlord.
Yeah, they are having a very, very good start here for CDUB, and I like the way that they're playing as this kind of 4-man group, right? Like, you need to still wait until Double King can come online with a few of his items, and the fact that you have these 4 heroes that can kind of just abuse the fact that all of their spells are insanely strong early on, and they just, you know, ticked off a whole lot of these towers. They've taken all the tier 1 towers off the map already at 11 minutes into the game. This is where you're able to kind of differentiate the good teams from the bad teams, right? Is you have such a strong start like this, but what do you do with it? You can see that already that the net worth chart hasn't really started to balloon out all too much. RRL as well as Argius are still starting to keep parity with their counterparts. It's not like they're too far behind. And it's all about how you transition this really, really good early game into a good mid game and then get the dub off the back of that. So I really want to see how CDUB do try and get a lot more of these objectives on the map, especially now that RL has his Bloodstone at the ready. He has an Illusion Rune as well, and they're going to look to try and get their own T1 tower top.
What is worrying, though, is despite the fact that he does have this Bloodstone for himself, they also have just picked up enough gold to close in on the Spirit Vessel for the Quaddle, so it should be available in about a minute and a half at worst. Once you have this item, suddenly this Leshrac pre-BKB, you feel so useless in this game. You are going to get the tower top as CDUB just posturing around middle, but primarily I think the target is going to be bottom. We see the Beastmaster for Isla bring in his Dark Troll Summoner army yet again. Dude, Helm of the Overlord is actually on the way right now. All right. I need to find out exactly how fast this is. So the moment it arrives, I'll tell you where it lands in the patch app, in the patch timings. It won't be the fastest ever, but it's still pretty damn fast. So let's see. 13:03.
Right, yeah, 13:03. Yep. I'm excited to see where he sits because he's had a very, very good early game. To be fair, they haven't been able to get this tier 2 tower just yet, and they've only done a little bit of damage to them. And you can see now they are kind of just waiting for this item timing with the Desolator on Double King, and that's when they can go. And they're finally starting to get this net worth starting to balloon up a little bit for them. They haven't done any smoke shenanigans just yet. Maybe they're just waiting on the Spirit Vessel to be available. So they have it now on Mark. So I would love to see CDUB just try and get behind this tier 2 tower, try and find somebody who's defending it, get that kill, transition it into a tier 2, and then start to take the top part of the map back over again. So
in this patch, our man Isla has gotten the 13th fastest item timing on this. I know, 12th fastest, sorry. And global, all-time ever, this is the 13th fastest out of 1,396 pickups. Oh, not bad, not bad. Doing a pretty decent job here on the Beastmaster. And the job is made even easier when you can kill off a silencer and now just easily siege onto the tier 2 tower down in this bottom lane. They just cannot fight right now. Like, they did this without having to commit primal roll. They committed literally no ultimate to get that kill and a tower. And right now, your Terrorblade nowhere near ready to fight. Your Leshrac definitely needs at least 2 items. You need this like Kaya, but honestly, I think you need BKB as well, because if you just show up to this fight without BKB, they Static Storm you, they Spirit Vessel you, you just die regardless of having this Bloodstone available. So there's still so many more items they need on the side of Ant before they still feel comfortable fighting. And I think that they've recognized this here, Fluke, because they're smoking up on the side of CDUB. They're going to go look for an engagement whilst Ant is still a little bit weak.
Yeah, it's exactly what I talked about, right? I wanted to see them get this, the pick off into the tier 2 tower and then transition to take over the top side of the map, because that's where you see the Argeus as well as RRL are waiting and looking to try and find the Terrorblade. They run directly at him.
Oh no, they got him.
To kill him.
Yeah. They have Primal Roll. And honestly, Terrorblade, one of the reasons why you definitely need BKB in this game as TB is because this hero is awful against silences. It just so happens that most of them he can dispel by buying Manta, which doesn't interrupt his usual build-up. But here, Static Storm, if that ever catches you, you just die. And now they're just going to the Roshan pit. Free Aegis available for themselves. This is also going to be at the same time as Double King gets his Desolator. Dude, Armlet Deso phase boots at 15 minutes into the game, and an Aegis in tow for one of their heroes. All right, feels nice to be this Raid King for Double King at the moment.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be a big boy. And the way that they're able to play these fights now that they have the drums available is kind of go time for CDUB. To be fair, though, have found some decent item timing, but feeling G.
Oh,
okay,
no.
Dude. See you later, brother.
Do you mean feeling G or just feeling bad, mate?
Yeah, that feels mega bad. They find Undying bottom, though.
Okay, they do get something out of that by being able to bring down the Undying. And we do see, though, that the Warden probably gets punished for this by Mark. Mark trying to run him down. Solar Bind has finished its duration, but the Illuminate Blast should still deal more than enough damage to secure a kill in that front. Erstwhile in the mid lane, RRL is also losing his life. One more right click from the Double King. Make sure that he dies too. And that's several kills all across the map. Yeah, they get the Undying, but it costs 2 heroes and a tier 2 tower in this mid lane. Certainly not worth it. But what's real about this is that for Ant, they'll kind of take it, because that's the first time this entire game, Fluke, that we've seen this Mars actually being like valuable at all. He gets some spells off, they get a kill, but man, Asha's had a really difficult game here in game 1.
Yeah, this is probably the reason why you don't blind pick Mars in this meta, right? I think this is kind of case in point of what we were saying in the draft, that he has some bad lanes and he's not really that great in the meta. I mean, I'm not quite sure if Doom would have had a much better time.
Is he dead? No way. Ooh, but they had to pop global for that one, dude. That required global silence just to allow him to TP home. They don't even get anything out of it. So that's 2 minutes where probably CDUB just take your tier 2 tower in the top lane as well.
Yeah, 100%. That's a massive feels bad. So I have a little pop quiz for you here, Snare. What do you think, without looking at it, is the win probability right now for CDUB?
Without looking, 10%.
So you think CDUB have 10%?
Oh, CDUB. Sorry, I thought you meant Ant.
Yeah,
CDUB should be 90. Yeah. They should be 90. They should be 90. Yeah.
They're at 93% right now.
Hey,
so this game is starting to get scary. And I don't really know the best way for them to fight, because they need to utilize all of their ultimates to get a lot of these fights going, because you've always got the Illuminate to keep people alive. Maybe they can try and take the first life onto Double King, but they need to not commit anything for this first life, because they have to get through 2 lives on Double King and Mark.
Oof. Good luck. Let's see what they try here. They go in. They're looking for the first life, and they're almost able to get it. A couple of right clicks from the Terrorblade with the meta, and they can make it happen. However, let's see what they do on the re-engage. Mars pops his arena, but unfortunately, Static Storm gets dropped down immediately thereafter. There's a primal roll onto the Terrorblade. He can't contribute damage into this fight. At the same time, though, they don't want to overcommit from CDUB, and they will allow this Undying for Duster to end up falling. They got what they came for, which was the melee racks. And you know, normally, you feel really good sacrificing a pos 5 for a melee racks. You feel extra good doing this in the pre-20 minute mark of the game here.
Yeah, I think that's massive, right? The fact that you're getting a melee racks at this early in the game, and now it just means that for the side of Ant, they have to be constantly worrying about this top side as it will permanently be pushing in. They haven't been able to close out the game just yet. There was, you can see that there is still enough damage for Ant to get through the Wraith King's first life, but he's getting closer to his own BKB. He's got the Blink Dagger coming out now as well, so I feel like this tempo is just going to increase, and they need to make sure they get this combination going. They need to make sure they get Arena and Global Silence, try and find a key pick. Make sure it's not Duster. If they can find either Isla or Double King, it's going to be massive.
Oh my god,
Was
Double
that a
King,
one-hit?
2 shots feeling G. It was a 2, oh no, it was a 1, yeah. Like Wraith Fire Blast into a 1 hit. Yeah, he actually died in 2 total attacks. Ush able to TP out. We see that Double King is not done with dealing out the hurt just yet. Brings down the Warden in very fast fashion. Will RRL fire any better? And the answer is no, he will not. Isla gets a double kill off of that, but most of the work being done by the Double King. 3 heroes gone. There's no tier 2 tower in the mid lane, so this should certainly signal a second lane of Rax collapsing. Fam, he did alone 4,000 damage in that small engagement. That's insane from the Wraith King.
Yeah, I mean, this is the reason why he's called the one true king, right? Because he is definitely the king of the jungle today. And I mean, I really like the way that CDUB have really enabled this Wraith King. Like, he has been buffed up by, you know, almost the Boots of Baron coming in now from Isla. They have the Inner Beast Aura, so he's just able to do so much damage to these towers. But they also have heroes that enable Wraith King to stick on top of people, right? And that's kind of one of the issues, and that's the reason why you have to build like Blink Dagger and stuff on him, so you can jump in the back. He gets the 2-shot on most supports, but it's about him trying to get a lot of these core matchups for him. And the fact that you have a Disruptor on your team just enables this Wraith King to stand and fight when he has so much more net worth than everybody else, right? Like, everyone's 11k plus for the side of CDUB, whereas you look at Ush and he's at 7k. Like, he is so far behind the 8 ball that unfortunately for him, he's literally just going to be an arena bot, and that's all he can be this game, because he really was not set up to have a good time.
Coming into this game, the odds from esportsbet.io were favoring the side of Ants, and they have normalized somewhat. And CDUB is definitely being more favored for this game, but I still feel y'all have 2-1 odds for this game. That's capped to me. This game feels much more difficult than it would be to win under those conditions. But of course, anything can still happen. The game of Dota is a phenomenal one. Right now, what do we have? We have Leshrac, Terrorblade. These are heroes that we have seen in the past in different, obviously in different set of circumstances, but they can carry games. So if this game still goes for another 30 minutes or so, you know, you can still see a positive result for CDUB, but they drop down this Tombstone. They are ready to try and ensure that they can get this win without any shenanigans. And look at Double King, goes onto the Warden. The Warden snowballs onto him, and we'll be able to blink away. In the meantime, though, it's going to be a Static Storm down onto the Mars and the Terrorblade. Primal Roar goes back onto the Mars. The BKB is popped by Isla to get away from this fight. They don't want to full commit onto these heroes. They will end up being able to bring down Ash through a glimpse as well as an Illuminate play. Double King goes in onto the Silencer. 2 hits and he's almost dead, but it does survive long enough to turn the engagement and force away the first life. But what will they do about life number 2? Firstly, they will sunder him, bring him very, very low. Soul Rip will keep him alive for just a moment longer. These armlet toggles from Double King, ensuring that the game continues. Warden, oh no, you flew too close to the sun, my friend. He went in search of the Double King, and unfortunately for him, he found him as he gets brought down in a solitary hit from the Wraith King. They glimpse back RRL. He does not have a BKB, but he will pop the Bloodstone, staying alive a little while longer. As Duster has made his presence known in the fight once more. He brought back just to ensure that his team has healed and to sustain, and yet one more massive crit hit from the Wraith King brings down the Silencer. This is going to be another Tombstone drop down, and they might just be able to get another lane of Rax off the back of this before the Silencer even respawns.
Yeah, no meta. Arena of Blood is coming off cooldown now, but there's no metamorphosis for you to play around with, so unfortunately for Argius, he is a little bit weaker than what he was previously. They are doing a good job at least kind of forcing CDUB back here, but no Spirit Vessel charges, no Reincarnate, so this is probably a good time for CDUB to try and fall back, regroup a little bit, try and get the next set of items. They're close to the BKB for Double King. Sanctified's going to get close to his own Aghanim Scepter. Mark is going to come up close on the pipe, which I believe is coming out now for him as well, so CDUB need to make sure they don't overpress their hands.
Oh no, Mars jumped in looking for the arena, but the Static Storm was even faster. Sanctified with the domain expansion level speed, making sure that there's no Mars ultimate. They get that kill. The Warden's about to die next. Neither of them have buyback. On the bright side, they're so low level that they will respawn fairly quickly. but they might not find any allies to respawn to as Double King goes in to clean up the silencer as well. There will be a buyback coming in from the silencer. 5 seconds until he has access to the global. RRL, still no BKB. He can't afford to die here. They will give the global silence at long last. Forced off away from Duster. Should still end up losing his life here. And if he dies, it is going to be a dieback on the Undying. And indeed, he will fall. Double King, though, will be like, well, we will trade the Undying's life in exchange for mega creeps. As CDUB put themselves in pole position by finishing off the final set of racks in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say, I'm pretty sure you just call it here. You just save yourself a little bit of mental because that was that's a Gabe and Tia shellacking. That was not even close. And unfortunately for Ants, this is something that I talked about, right? The fact that CDUB are a team that really